to Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Weldin. Today's story is called Singing Sparrow, an original story written for you by Daniel Hinds. Thanks! Enjoy the episode! Singing Sparrow. Once upon a time, there was a bossy little bird named Betty. She always had to get her way, and if you didn't give her what she wanted, you had better watch out. She was only a little sparrow, brown and gray and puffy. Still, she had a great big voice that chirped out across the forest, especially when she was in one of her moods. And she was always in one of her moods. "Morning, everyone!" she hollered one morning, out for a strut around the forest floor. Of course, she could fly, but she was in the midst of hunting for something to eat. Some giant sunflowers were dropping their seeds, and a crowd of birds had gathered underneath, all chittering and hopping. "Now get out of my way!" Some of the other birds muttered, but they were mostly used to Betty's antics by now. Rather than get in a long and far too loud shouting match, they just cleared some space to let Betty have her way. "That's right," she said, gobbling up some seeds. "Now you stay over there, and you can eat over that way near the mud, and you don't even think about it. That whole patch is mine. All of you, clear out!" Betty hopped about and ate sunflower seeds until her little belly was full to bursting with burps. "Whew, I'm done for now," she declared to no one and everyone. "But you better leave me some seeds for when I get back." She flapped her way towards a little bush that was swaying in the wind. It was small and green, but had a perfect perch in the middle. If only all the leaves weren't in the way. "Hey, bush!" she snapped. "Make some room. I'm coming in there to sit, and you better sway me to sleep." "Oh, but I need my leaves," said the bush, surprised at the bossy bird. "I guess you can find somewhere else to sit." "I'm sorry, I can what?" Betty shrieked. She got her way so often that she didn't even know how to handle what was happening. "Maybe you didn't hear me, but I said make some room." No," said the bush, and then it fell silent. "You simple little shrub," Betty said. "I'll show you to say no to me." The little sparrow flew from the bush and went to find the goat that lived nearby. She found him standing in the sun of his field, munching on a little grass. "Hey, goat!" Betty said, starting to yell before she had even landed. "The bush won't give me a swing. I can't believe what I'm singing. What does she think telling me no? I'm the boss and what I say goes. Get it together, do what I say. And if you want, then I'll make you pay." "Sounds real tough," said the goat, not really paying attention. "Oh, it is," said Betty. "Now go eat that bush for me." "What?" said the goat. "I said go eat the bush. I need to teach it a lesson in manners. When I give an order, folks better listen." "Oh, I'm not doing that," said the goat, turning back to his grass. "Not your... No?" Betty sputtered. "That's it. I see that the bush isn't the only one who I need to teach a lesson to today." Betty launched herself back into the air and flew to look for the big she-wolf who was always prowling around the forest. The little bird finally found her, sniffing her way through some deep brush. Betty landed on a nearby branch and started talking as soon as the wolf turned her way. "Hey, wolf!" she said. "The goat won't nibble the bush. The bush won't give me a swing. I can't believe what I'm singing. What are they thinking, saying no? I'm the queen and what I say goes. Get it together, do what I ask. And if not, you better watch your back." "And why are you telling me? The wolf asked. Because you're gonna go eat the goat. That will teach him a lesson he'll never forget. No, I'm not doing that, said the wolf. I don't really like goat. And besides, the farmer keeps hunters around for when I get too close. You better listen to me and help, little Miss Big Dog. Okay, fly away, little bird. Bye-bye, the she-wolf said, and then she loped away into the brush. Okay, just call me a teacher because everyone is getting taught a lesson today. That wolf is afraid of hunters? She should be afraid of me. I'm going to get her sorted out first thing. Betty gathered herself and flew to the lodge where the hunters sat. There, she found 3 rough-looking people loosing arrows at a bale of hay with a deer drawn on it. Hunters, she declared, landing lightly on one of their bows. The wolf won't nibble the goat. The goat won't nibble the bush. The bush won't give me a swing. I can't believe what I'm singing. What are they thinking, saying no? I'm on the top and what I say goes. Get it together, do what I want. 'Cause if you don't, you might end up gone. The hunters all looked at the little bird and then burst into laughter. We won't kill a wolf just because you've got an issue, little bird, said the biggest. If we kill a wolf, it's because they deserve it. We aren't here to work for you. That's where you're wrong, screeched Betty. Everyone is here to work for me. You better do what I say. And you better flutter off before we swat you out of the sky. They turned and walked away, leaving the little bird fuming. Oh, they think they're so great, she muttered. They'll see things my way, or else they'll pay like the rest. To teach the hunters a lesson, Betty went to talk to the fire and asked it to burn the hunters. The fire refused, so she asked the river to quench the fire, and the river refused her too. Getting more and more angry with every step she tried, Betty asked the ox to drink the river and was told no again. She asked the axe to chop the ox, and then the termites to eat the axe, and then a hen to eat the termites. No, no, and no were the answers. I can't believe no one will listen to me, she shouted. I need to teach them all a lesson. I need to start with the hen and work all the way back to the bush who wouldn't let me swing. That'll show them that I'm not bossy, I'm just the boss. Thinking of who could punish the hen, she went to see the sparrowhawk. The sparrowhawk was a big and mighty bird who would eat smaller birds that got in his way. Perfect for dealing with the hen. Betty found him perched on top of a tree, preening his feathers. The hen won't eat the bugs. The bugs won't eat the axe. The axe won't fell the ox. The ox won't drink the water. The water won't quench the fire. The fire won't burn the hunters. And the bush wouldn't give me a swing. I can't believe what I'm singing. What are they thinking, saying no? Don't they know to listen to sparrows? Get it together, you'd better learn. And if you don't, then I'll make you burn. After Betty finished singing, the hawk looked at her with flashing eyes, talons glinting in the sun. Well, that is some kind of song, and I think I can help teach a lesson. You can? Said Betty. Finally, someone with some sense to do what I say. Oh, no, said the hawk. I think you're confused. I'm going to teach you a lesson. The hawk puffed up, wings spread, and beak sharp. Me? But why? I'm perfect, said Betty. You're a bossy brat, said the hawk. And it's not the hen I'm going to eat. It's you. The hawk shot forward. Betty squawked in alarm and dove down through the trees. The hawk crashed after her, bigger, faster, stronger. The little sparrow dove and ducked and dodged and darted, but the hawk kept getting closer and closer. "What do I do? What do I do?" Betty asked herself, wings already getting tired. "Over here, quick," came a voice. Betty looked and was surprised to see that it was the little bush that had started this whole mess by not letting her swing. "Betty, come on, you can hide in here." Betty didn't want to take any favors from the bush she was mad at. But then the hawk snapped so close he ate a few of her tail feathers, so Betty dove into the safety of the bush. It snapped shut behind her and the hawk screamed. The giant bird of prey ripped and tore at the bush, but it couldn't get inside where Betty was hiding, and it eventually gave up and flew away. "Wow," said Betty, "that was a close one." "Huh, what did you do to make the hawk so mad?" the bush asked. "Did you try and boss him around too?" Betty started an angry response, but then she realized the bush had saved her. She had spent all day mad at everyone for not doing exactly what she wanted, but maybe, just maybe, she was the one being unreasonable. After all, if the goat had really eaten the bush when she'd asked, then the bush would have been gone, and maybe the hawk would have gotten her. Just the thought made the little sparrow shiver. I'm sorry for being rude," Betty said. "You said I couldn't sit and swing, and I should have listened." "Yeah, you should have," said the bush. But she could tell how sorry Betty really was. "But hey, you're here now. Want to take a little rest?" After all the flying around she had done that day, a rest sounded like just the thing. "Thank you," said Betty. "You're welcome," said the bush, and it slowly rocked the bird to sleep. And from that day on, Betty wasn't so bossy. She listened to other people, she took turns, she shared, and in the end, she made a whole forest full of new friends. The end. Thanks for listening.